everybody. Welcome back to Anime Sickos, the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Erica, an anime sicko.
Erica, thank you for joining me, as you always have, my favorite host, because it's the only host I've ever had, the co-host, who is half of the show. Why am I calling you up? It's foolish to do that.
Yeah, it's strange, given that we've done this, 200, 500 times together?
Something like 200, close to
Yeah.
200, rounding up to 200. But yeah, we're going to do one of our classic episodes that we've done every single time. We do the same thing. We're about to do something that has been done an incredible amount of times. So before we do that, I have two patrons who, I gotta say, love Erica because she's half the show.
I am, indeed.
Yeah.
Always
So
have been, always will be.
It's absurd for them to patronize this show, if not to make at least $2.50 worth of approval of Erica and the sound of her voice over a recorded sound reproduction machine. Anywho, first up we have Beth Bow. Beth Bow has given us $5. Thank you, Beth Bow.
Good job, Beth.
Yeah, Beth Bow.
Correct choice.
I can't think up a joke for Beth Bow. Sometimes there's no joke to be made.
Bo Beth.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bo Beth or Bo Blues?
I guess so. This next one, Erica, I don't need to make a joke because this is one of those classic guys, which is to say the guys that we know in real life. This MFer has been on the skewer. This is Dan L.
Oh, yeah. Dan, what made you wait so long, bro? Dan, are you a big lawyer now? Dan, did you forget your improv dreams? You know, so here's the thing when you do improv. There's always one person that you think, we're not that good. This one person is good. And they could make it in improv if they wanted to. They could make it all the way to the big SNL. And that was Dan.
Oh, I was going to say they could be the one who's in the touring company that goes on cruises.
Sure, yeah, that too. And that was Dan. And then Dan said, "No, I'm going to be a lawyer." So,
I mean, like bigger hero than Batman for doing that. For like, you know what? I'm actually going to make a sensible decision and not be the most annoying guy of all time. And I'm going to live a secure life. Dan, I wish I could be like you. I can't.
Why? What are you talking about? You've never done improv. Have you? Wait.
I mean,
things about you all the time.
Not in a strictest sense of I've never taken an improv class. I've never been in a show that was called an improv show. But, I mean, what is this show if not off the dome?
Can you do a zip, zap, zop?
No.
Okay.
I mean, and
right.
why would you even ask that? Because who would I do it with but you, my only co-host? And it is actually a funny story. We had to start a little late because you were putting your son to bed, which reminds me, sons. Oh no. The screen is going all fuzzy and there's the sound of static, as though I'm remembering a half-remembered memory that was removed from my head. Oh, what's this? My head. Oh, a headache. Oh no. I'm seeing flashes of a guy, big beard. What, is he gonna fucking cut it? I don't know. Who is this guy? I'm seeing the letter J. Yeah, I'm doing a bit. Joe, the anime sicko, who has guested on this show a few times, he can't be on the show today on account of he had a baby named Ivan who's cute.
Yay!
We love Ivan. We love the baby, Winnie, who actually did the birth, which is like the only hard part. She did great. She's doing great. Both. Apparently, I've been told that the labor was exceptionally short.
Ugh,
and
jealous.
Yeah, I saw that baby. He cute as hell. Folks, we love Ivan. And you do too. Anyway, if you don't know about Erica, it's probably because you didn't listen to any of the earlier shows. Because she's been on all of them. And especially not the episode where she went guesto mode, which is ironic because she's one of the hosts. Some people haven't listened to every single episode of Anime Sickos, Erica. Did you know that?
That's insane.
What are they doing with their time?
I don't know. There are not many podcasts. This is literally the only podcast. So what are you doing while you're doing groceries or running errands or running around the block?
I don't know. I thought that when we started doing this, that like it would catch on. People would be like, this is a great format and not hard to start. Like, I'll do my own. But we're still the only one. Isn't it funny how that happens? But like, okay. I gotta drop the bit because there might be people for whom this is their first episode. Erica, you're being a guest host. You while Joe is on baby leave, I'm having guest hosts. Who knows how many we're gonna do because I'm immediately gonna take another hiatus because I'm fucking going out of the country like an idiot. I didn't think about that when I was scheduling this. Anyway, the reason I had to have Erica on as my first guest host is because we were special homies because we produced a live lit show, which is a genre I think is gone now, which was a funny live comedy show where you don't do stand-up. You can just do whatever you want. I mean, you could do stand-up. Generally, the stand-up was the worst part, if anyone did that. But you could just do shit, and it was great, and we fucking produced it for 5 years, and...
And you're using the past tense, but that is not necessary because there's no telling that it's gone forever. There's no, in my mind and in my heart, we might pick it up at any time.
Yeah, what would it mean to pick it back up? Just it would take the will and not else. Well,
my anxiety about sharing microphones would need to be tamped down.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's that you could categorize that as a type of will. You do not have the will to ignore that.
The pool of people that I know would have to be more than, school moms.
I used to know so many fucking people.
Right? I knew so many people.
Like, what happened to me? I know what happened to me. There was a deadly airborne virus. Can you believe that? Yeah. Who knew?
It's just another thing they took from us.
They did. They took so much. We were talking lately, and you said that you wanted to get back to performing live, specifically to do a bit about astrology. Can I please implore you to do that bit for us now? Because it was funny.
I am so glad that you like it. So in my head, at any given Wednesday, I might take a disco nap, roll out at 11 p.m. and go to Kohl's and do the following bit, which is a hallmark Erica Dreisbach comedy bit because it starts with being actively hostile towards my audience. So
that's so good. That's so fucking good. I love it. Every time you do it, it's like the first time.
So I start by saying, let's see what right now we're in late November, so I guess it's Sagittarius season. It's Sagittarius season, everybody. Woo! Where my Sagittarians at? And whoever claps, I say, okay, you, and then the curtain drops, my eyes go black. Okay, you. This is about you right now because I'm going to explain to you now why astrology is not real. And it's going to ruin you because you have terrorized the rest of us for too long. Oh, I'm a Scorpio. I'm actually psychic. No, you're not. No, you're not. The Earth, we all know, is round, right? It's not quite round, though. It's a little thick around the middle, a little more to love. And the thickness around the middle causes the gravity of the sun to make the Earth wobble a little in its orbit, a little on its axis. Like a top, when you spin a spinning top, you were a child. Sagittarius, you were a child, were you not?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, when it slows down, it wobbles. The Earth wobbles, and it takes 26,000 years to complete a single wobble. It's the Platonic year. Look it up on your phone. It's real. You can find it on nasa.gov. So the wobble takes 26,000 years, and what that means is every 2,000 years, we are off one sign of the zodiac. You think that you're a Sagittarius because the newspaper tells you that. Because the newspaper in ancient Greek times would have said that your birthday is when Sagittarius is. So what does it mean? What does your sign mean? It means that on the day that you were born, if you turned off the sun like a light bulb, what constellation would you see in that spot? That's what your sun sign means. I'm telling you, on the day you were born, if you turned off the sun, Mr. Sagittarius, Ms. Sagittarius, being sexist here, assuming that it's probably a female presenting person, you're not a Sagittarius, you're a Scorpio. You're a Scorpio. I'm going to prove it to you right now. This is the dawning of the age of, and I hold out the mic to them. Yeah, that's right. Age of
Aquarius.
What the fuck does the age of Aquarius mean? The age of Aquarius, that means that if you turned off the sun on the day of the vernal equinox, that is what constellation you would see. In ancient Greek times, it was Aries, just like it says in the newspaper, March 21st, that's Aries. But it's been enough time. We've drifted. We're in the age of Pisces now. And in a couple hundred years, right now, we're in the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren, they're going to be 2 constellations off. It's not real. You got to pick up a book, do the Enneagram, do Myers-Briggs. Myers-Briggs, which is astrology for boys. Do boy astrology. You got to figure something out because astrology is not real. All right, so it doesn't end on a banger. I think the best line definitely is, you've terrorized us for too long. Mm-hmm. And I don't have any other line that has that power. And this is also mostly vengeance. So,
I mean, I like that. That's what I like.
So maybe I need to keep bringing it back to that.
I have a personal vendetta because as a born in July person,
right,
I have the worst sign, the one named after the word that your stomach drops to hear. And my thought is that if astrology people want me to respect their little game, either rename my sign to something good, like rename my sign like Candy. It's still C-A-N, Candy. That's my sign now. And failing that, some other sign has to share in my pain and get renamed to AIDS.
Yeah.
Like I'll be a Cancer if like the Geminis are like, I hate to do this, but I understand this is about fairness. We are now AIDS. Like,
solidarity. Yeah.
AIDS you can at least treat these days. Cancer will still get you.
Cancer still get, well, all right, so here's the thing about Cancer. One way to ward it off, really move the needle to ward it off, supplements.
Okay, so you have grabbed upon a natural segue, Erica, because this is the Sickos defeat death, or possibly aging. We'll decide which. Maybe both. So you may not know this, folks at home, but throughout human history, people have generally, as time passes, age. And then as that continues, eventually they stop aging for a real bad reason. But what if it didn't have to happen? What if you took a lot of sups?
What if you take your sups? That's right. Drawer full of sups. It's all fun and games until you get towards 40, and then suddenly you've got a drawer full. Rattling around. Yeah, your 30s, you're like, I'm still vibrant, I'm still sexy, I've got this collagen, I've got this elastin. I'm not.
That lasts forever, right?
That lasts forever. I don't have any. I can run and jump, and I don't hear any cricks and pops and.
Oh, that's not true. Even now.
Yeah.
I don't even have to wait how old? 7 years. I don't even have to wait 7 years.
So I wish to not age any further. I wish to continue accumulating experiences, but I don't wish to look any older in my face or feel any older in my body, or frankly feel any older and more set in my ways of thinking.
This feels like a really noble, and achievable endeavor. And also, there's no hubris against the gods, and perhaps you're better than the gods.
Brutal. Absolutely. This is the meanest thing you've ever said to me.
No. No, I don't mean it. No, I was just doing a bit. I was just referencing the gods tweet. You know that one? Okay.
Achievable. Okay.
So, you've written up a frankly normal list of techniques and supplements. So we got... Okay, folks. I don't know if you knew this, but turns out, and I learned this the hard way through my physical therapy for my back, the most goodest anti-aging is to, how do I put this? Maintain your body's health in the standard way, which you would not believe how much that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks a lot. It's mostly very boring. All of this anti-aging, defeating death, it's extremely boring things that in a just world, to quote beloved Joe, in a just world, these would be a trick. Like exercise makes you feel better. That would be something shitty football players tell you to make you run around and then feel worse.
I see you have written here, because a lot of these things I already do. And
Yeah, you
I feel
do
really
a
great.
lot of them, yeah.
Here's the thing. One of them is breathe. I fucking whip sack at that. I've been doing that for so long. My streak is intense. But no, okay. So we don't smoke. Fuck, I never smoke. Don't drink alcohol. Barely ever. Don't eat red meat. Barely ever. Limit processed foods. Barely ever. Daily exercise. Well, I'm not doing so great at that. But I'm doing better because my PT. Wear sunscreen. And my wife will yell at me if I don't do that. Limit sugar. I love treats. I eat. So here's another thing that my wife will vouch. If there's like no cookies or treats or like chocos around, and it gets to be like 9 p.m., like I just start pacing. Like it's like legitimately like withdrawal symptoms. Like I get edgy. It's bad. That's like my biggest like vice that's like clearly killing me, because like sugar is big time poison.
Do you get blood work done annually or on a regular basis?
I don't think so. Maybe. They don't tell me nothing about it. Last time I went to the doctor, I'll tell you this. I think I said this on the show once before, but maybe I didn't. It was right when the vaccine came around, and it was like, this should actually really work. You can't catch COVID now. And that lasted for a couple months. But I went to the doctor during that window because I was like, I haven't been to the doctor in years due to, the airborne virus. And so I went to the doctor, and they were like, what are you here for? I'm like, I haven't been in a couple of years. And she was like, and? And I'm like, don't you like take stock? And she's like, I guess. Are you feeling ill? And I was like, no, like, you're fine. And I left.
Oh, you didn't do any fasting blood work?
No. Oh. I think maybe. I don't know. If I did, you know what happened? They took my blood and they were like, yeah, nothing special. And I'm like, okay. And then I forgot immediately.
Oh, okay. All right. Definitely get some fasting blood work, because if you're a treat king, you just want to keep an eye on your blood sugar. You might be one of the lucky ones that can just be a candy morning, noon, and night and never develop insulin resistance, and you're fine, and your pancreas is fine, and your metabolism stays fine.
I mean, maybe, but all the pants I had from pre-pandemic don't fit no more.
That's shocking to me. You Slim Jim, unbelievable.
Okay, so Erica,
hard to believe.
We've gotten past the boring stuff. Go sleep. Oh fuck. The sleep one kills me, because it was just like, how do you fit gaming into this? And you were like, gaming's fine as long as it doesn't affect your sleep. And I'm like, okay, how do I begin to elucidate the ways you don't fucking get it? like literally nothing could interfere with sleep more.
Think of sleep as a kind of game. Wear a Fitbit and watch your numbies go up.
I guess. Wait, what numbers? What are we talking about numbers-wise? Like, what are my skill trees?
The hours that you slept and the number of minutes in deep sleep.
That's pretty good.
It does help me go to sleep on a more disciplined basis, just thinking, oh, my numby might go up.
Okay. Wait. This is tough because I'm like, this is compelling to me, but the reason I know it's compelling is because Steam tracks how many hours I play a game. So I'm already getting that. But that numby comes with a game, and the game might have in-game numbies. In fact, certainly does, otherwise I wouldn't be playing it. Well, we'll see. But Erica, you are the taker of supplements, to be clear, is what I mean when I say subs. How did this start? When did this begin?
Well, yeah,
you alluded to the turning of 40 being a turning point, but surely that's not the whole story.
That's not the whole story. It started even before then, when the pandemic hit. You know how some people got really into QAnon, and they started going down rabbit holes on the internet, and they started only believing things that they read that reinforced their pre-existing insane beliefs, and now you can't really talk to them logically. You can't really reality test with them about it. They're just lost to QAnon.
They're just like several levels deep in jargon, and like the very words they speak would require days of explanation to understand. Yes, I've heard of it.
It's like in improv where the words that you think they mean something different because the cult has changed the meaning of the very fabric of language. Well, that's me with supplements. And I wrote down a list for Tom because I wanted to be really clear with myself for the very stupid reasons that I take some of them. And the reasons are quite stupid, and a lot of them involve what I would call one of my supplements boyfriends, and they all kind of look similar. They all kind of look 45, but they dye their hair and they're really trying to pass as 40. And they're all white men. I think almost 201, except for the villain in Wonder Woman. We'll get to him. And then there's Maggie Q. So I'll start with, these are the supplements that my doctor actually writes down. She visibly tunes out when I tell her the other ones.
I think that's probably a very wise move on her part.
So I take a standard women's gummy multivitamin, which is a delicious morning treat.
This is the one sup that I have taken. I don't have any right now. I don't have the women's kind. I imagine it's fucking the same. Maybe the ratios are a little different. Who cares? Also, the unspoken thing, which is no one could possibly know if any of these pills actually have what they say. Like, they probably are just random. Anyway, the point being, I've had the gummy multivitamin. It's so fucking, it's like, oh, folks, it's candy that you feel like when you have it, you're like, I'm moral. I'm a genius for having had my delicious, yummy candy.
Longevity never tasted so good. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like I'm eating the candy and I'm like, normally I would be like, sugar's so bad for me. But like, I imagine like a little troop of soldiers going down to my tummy with their little spears ready to like poke all the bacteria, the bad bacteria, not the good bacteria. I love gummy multivitamins. I'm all for them.
I also take a calcium because I'm a female and I got to keep these bones strong, prevent osteoporosis. Important. I take a vitamin B complex because I don't eat a lot of animal protein and because someone who I consider a family friend, Tom Brady, recommends it.
So you say this all the time and I like nod along like, yeah, I get it. I don't get it. What's the bit here? Is this real?
Wait, what? You nod along? You do not recall this important story?
No.
I think I've told it to you, and I've told it to both of your parents, and maybe told it in front of you a third time. Well, here we go. It's a fourth time.
Fourth time's the charm, as the saying goes.
So Tom Brady was in one of the Super Bowls, and the New York Times did a thing about Tom Brady also does supplements. And I said, ooh, you look like you could be a new sup boyfriend. So they said that he has this book called the TB12 Method. I pull up the TB12 Method on Google Books, and I'm reading the introduction, and what do I see? Why, it is a familiar chestnut from my extended family, but told from the perspective of Tom Brady, about my cousin, Scooter Dreisbach. So Scooter Dreisbach was a quarterback for University of Michigan, and he
you have told me this.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Wait, you legitimately forgot? I am questioning a lot of things right now, Tom. I'm questioning a lot of things. Do you even know me? Have you even heard of me? I have a friend who I consider an extremely dear friend, and she said to me the other day, wait, you consider yourself an extrovert? I was like, oh my God.
What? Okay,
this is a friend I've had for a long time. It's like, are you going to ask me if I did theater in high school next? Like, do you even know who I am?
I know you're all about pliability because the TB12 method, and you have the vibrating foam roller.
Oh, that vibrating foam roller has saved my life. Not because I've used it on my body, but because it has entertained my small child very much. And when nothing else worked, the vibrating foam roller did. Okay, so
I've seen it. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Tom Brady tells this storied chestnut, but from his perspective, and I had only known it from my cousin's perspective, which is that he had a freak accident of severely busting his thumb during a practice when it got stuck in somebody's helmet. And so that meant Scooter Dreisbach was out for the season. And guess who was up? Tom Brady. So when you ask, why is there Tom Brady? How do we have a Tom Brady? Think of the name Dreisbach, because it was a freak accident that happened to Dreisbach. That is the reason why. And I'll tell you, this is why he's a family friend. If I met Tom Brady and I told him my last name, he would say, hold on a second, any relation to Scooter? And I would say, yes, that's my first cousin. And
Damn.
He would greet me warmly.
And you would say, can I have some vitamin B complex from the TB12 line for free, sir? And he'd say, sure, because it will keep you immortal like me. It'll make your face change shape. Surgery free.
I don't need anything from him. I've got my own sources of vitamin B complex. I don't even know that I would mention that I'm an acolyte or that he is my boyfriend, because I don't have a relationship with the actual Tom Brady. I have a relationship with this fictional person that I've created. This is true of all of my supplements boyfriends.
Yes.
I don't have a relationship with the actual person. So if I met the actual Tom Brady, it'd be like, oh, I guess we both know maybe the supplements boyfriend, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That if I could meet that person, it would be it would be very different.
It's like meeting the actor who plays a character. It's like, oh, that's cool, but like, you're not him.
I mean, I've even felt that with, I used to be extremely into Mike Doty from Soul Coughing, like so deeply into his music, but recognized upon meeting him a couple times that I don't have a relationship with him. Mm-hmm. He has a relationship with his music, and I have a relationship with his music. And so it's almost like we're both in the same harem, but I don't have a relationship with him, despite listening to hundreds and hundreds of hours of interviews and music. Let's move on, because we're really high up in this list of sups.
Yeah, this is a long list. Keep going. What's the next one?
Vitamin D3, that's another real one for overall immunity and protection from COVID.
The vitamins that are letters, those are real. I know those are true.
Yeah. Vitamin E, that's another good one. And it's an antioxidant and overall skin, hair, nails integrity. And zinc, I take it for a stupid reason. It's because I saw a facialist. I saw a facialist in 2022, and she's recommended a book called The Fat Burn Fix. And The Fat Burn Fix said that every single person should be taking magnesium and zinc, because you can no longer reliably get those minerals from food sources because big agriculture has depleted the soil.
Yeah, now you get microplastic instead.
Right. And my magnesium levels this spring were too high, so now I just take the zinc. So those are the real ones I take. And then we move on to the much more fun part, which is all of the supplements I take for stupid reasons.
I got to say before we move on, I just have to make this, because I know a lot of our listeners are going to be thinking it. And I'm thinking it every time. I made this comment. I'm having it again. Anytime I see zinc, I think of that Simpsons bit where they watch the video about zinc, where Billy wakes up and he can't call on the phone, and he's like, why is my phone not working? And the guy says, you said you want to live in a world without zinc. No, there's no dialing mechanism in your phone. And then he wakes up and he's glad that he lives back in the world with zinc. I just need to say, yeah, I also know about the zinc bit. It's great.
It ends with him trying to shoot himself in the head.
Yeah, but the gun doesn't work because there's no zinc. And then when he wakes up, I'm so glad I live in a world with telephones, automobiles, and handguns, and many other things made of zinc.
Yeah. Well, it also belongs in the body.
Yeah.
Just through a sup, or from if you're lucky enough to live in a place with non-depleted soil. All right, here are my stupid supplements. This is where it gets real fun and real stupid. Number 1, biotin. And this is, I took this for the stupidest possible reason, because the villain in Wonder Woman 1984 says that biotin will make you glow like a teenager.
He can't be wrong.
And I wanted that. But then I looked at my women's gummy multivitamin, and they already include biotin. So I said, oh, okay. Don't need to take that separate anymore.
Okay.
Chlorella tablets. Have you heard about the tech multi-millionaire who has his son be his blood boy?
Yes, he's very funny because he keeps paying publications to do big feature stories about this 45-year-old billionaire looks 18. Yeah. No, he doesn't. He looks like a 45-year-old billionaire whose skin has become very taut.
Yeah, he looks really weird. He used to look much, much better. I've kind of broken up with him as a boyfriend, although I still take up his supplements. So his name is Brian Johnson, and I take chlorella because he takes it, and then it's high in antioxidants, and then it also binds to heavy metals. Like,
so wait, what is it? Because when we're talking about like vitamins with letters, I'm just like, I know what that is. That's real. Yeah. Chlorella, she makes coats out of dogs.
Right. No, they take algae and powder it down. They dry it and then they powder it down and put it in little tablets.
Heavy metals is bad, right?
Yeah, that's like when you eat, you know how fish has mercury in it?
I mean, not ideally.
Right, and you know how you've probably eaten fish?
Yeah, once or twice.
Okay, well, that mercury's in you, but the
nuts.
promise of something like these with a chelating effect is that you can move the needle on pulling some of that crap out of your body.
Okay, so this is algae that is touted by a vampire man who looks like he has some serious body dysmorphia that he does not want to deal with in a healthy way. Mm-hmm. So that's good that you're taking that. Does this work?
Oh. The does this work question in the supplement in the for the sups heads, does this work? We've immediately got like cult-like response because how could you possibly test this? It's basically, if I don't get cancer in 30 years, is it because of my genes or is it because I took all these antioxidants? There's just no way to test it. You kind of got to take it on faith. You look sometimes at studies on mice, but you think sort of logically about it. Like, well, if it's pulling out heavy metals and it's got antioxidants, it's probably not bad.
Mm-hmm. I was like, what's it hurting? I mean, it could hurt if it's like poisonous, but probably isn't.
Right, exactly.
I mean, yeah, this is why this is like the fun version of QAnon, because like when you become a QAnon person, like your big thing is like, one day I'm going to take my special item that I love so much and use it on the hogs. But with this, it's like, who's involved? You're not like giving someone else subs.
Right. I'm not hurting anyone else. I'm just trying to still be able to pick myself up off the ground when I'm 80.
Yeah.
And,
This next one, you say is made from broccoli extract. I eat broccoli normal. Does that mean I already have this?
Yeah. Yes. It basically does. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. What is it?
But
tell me.
It's sulforaphane. It's made from cruciferous. It's found in cruciferous vegetables, but the particular kind that usually comes in an extract is usually made from broccoli. Just high in antioxidants, so it's keeping cancer at bay. And again, I take it because of my ex-boyfriend Brian Johnson.
What is an oxidant? Why do I not want ox around?
Are you familiar with iron, like the metal?
Heard of it.
Are you familiar with what happens with iron when you leave it out wet?
Wait, can you rust? Can the person rust?
So oxygen is a toxic gas. We are in the middle of a mass extinction of life that's mostly caused by humans. But there have been other mass extinctions on Earth, and one of them was caused by plants producing oxygen. It nearly wiped out all life on Earth because oxygen is a toxic gas. And then life went on and adapted, and now we think of oxygen as life-giving, but it still has these corrosive properties, and has corrosive properties at the cellular level. So more or less, cancer can be described as a rust on cells.
Fuck.
So something to combat that oxidative stress on cells is good.
Am I gonna get into sups because of this? Because now I'm just like, I don't want that. I'm breathing oxygen all damn day. I was just saying that I'm constantly
you're so good at breathing.
God damn it.
You gotta balance it.
You didn't write this on the list, but once when I was having my insomnia week, which was just a nightmare. I wish I had a nightmare. It was a staying up mare. You recommended that I take ashwagandha root capsules. I gotta tell you, Erica, that didn't do a damn thing. Those were nothing.
Yeah.
Those full of sawdust. Those are old newspapers.
Yeah, they don't do anything for me either. It's more of it might work, and also the pleasure of feeling like you have an option can sometimes be enough. I mean, I feel this as a parent. When a parent offers, here's a thing that worked for our kid, you can try that. And even if it doesn't work for my kid, just the pleasure of knowing it worked for someone, or even the pleasure of anticipating it might work, sometimes that's enough. So, that sucks that it didn't work for you. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what did? And you're very right. I agree with you completely with what you just said, because what did work is Vicks of Vapo Rub fame makes ZZZ Quill melatonin gummies. That each gummy has 1 milligram of melatonin in it, which is to say, fucking none. But what it does have is a tasty, sugary flavor. So, on a night where I'm feeling nervous, I'll take a delightful treat, and I say, this is my treat before I brush my teeth. Oh boy. And then I'll feel really good because I had a yummy treat. And then I'll go to sleep. It's great. Slam
awesome.
dunk, folks. I don't think it does. I don't think the valerian root that's there in negligible amounts is doing anything, but it sure helps me to take because it tastes yummy.
Yeah, melatonin didn't do shit for me either, but I absolutely agree in yummy treats. Absolutely.
All right, what's the next one? Let's keep going. We got so many dumb subs to get through.
This one, this was when Instagram started hitting me hard. Instagram somehow got the news that I was getting into sups and started hitting me hard. So Tony Horton, who is a personal trainer to the stars, he was a personal trainer for Tom Petty.
Tom Petty?
A person you wouldn't necessarily think had a personal trainer, right?
I mean, I'm not surprised given his incredible wealth. But when I'm like, who would I cite as like an example of my incredible skill as a personal trainer. You'd think like one of the muscle-bound freaks from Marvel movies, not Tom Petty, an old man.
Well, Tony Horton was a trainer for Tom Petty, and he got a real bad case of shingles, and he had to stop working out for a while, and he rebuilt his body with, among other things, hydroxymethylbutyrate. So I take it now. And it's a way of preserving and improving muscle tone, especially as you hit that hormone cliff, which I'm going to hit soon enough, where you stop being able to build muscle.
Why
and
does
this
that
is the time.
I
don't know exactly. I'm not deep enough in the lore to really understand that part.
You need to get to the next level. You need to become clear.
But I'll say this, which is that with the same emphasis that some spouses say to their spouse, baby, we got to be maxing out our IRAs every single year. We got to be investing. We got to be thinking about retirement. That's me with my husband, Vlad. Like, baby, we got to work on our grip strength. You got to be doing 2 minutes solidly on the pull-up bar just gripping, and I gotta be doing 90 seconds at a minimum. We gotta be doing that now because we're gonna hit 70 and we're gonna have to be growing our own food because there's gonna be a collapse of society and we're gonna need to pull our own plows. So
is gripping what about gripping is so crucial?
It's more that it's a good proxy for overall physical health and strength. Mm-hmm. And it's just something easy you can do and assign a numby to. Okay,
I like that. Okay, this is actually great. Because one thing that I'm sort of piecing together in my mind as we're going through these is that, like, you know, this sup hole you've gone down, it's like all things, it must in some way relate to the 4 pillars of modern misery, because all things do. That's what makes them the 4. So what this is, I think, is that you're min-maxing your build in real life. You're finding out what stats you need to dump points into, and you're getting all the stat boosting items for those ones. That's very clever, because I'm not doing any of that shit. My stats are garbage.
You can start at any time, Tom. You can start any time. This is a warm and welcoming cult community.
Hydroxymethylbutyrate sounds real chemical. Like that, like vitamin E, that sounds like that's my friend. There's anything that's got methyl in it, I'm like, I don't know about that. That might cause me to go blind.
Yeah.
What? So how do we get past that?
I don't know. If I look on so this is a good thing for me writing up this list for you, which because I actually looked at the Wikipedias for a lot of the sups that I take, which was really good. So if I click on hydroxymethylbutyrate,
it's a naturally produced substance, folks.
There you go.
Slam dunk. Don't get scared. The cult's real. All right, the next one's called NAD. You can't say that.
No, I don't take NAD. Taking NAD doesn't work. I take nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, NMN. I take a precursor to NAD. I
mean, you say that, but I'm looking at the 3 words, nicotinamide, adenine, and dinucleotide. That starts with NAD, Eric. I don't know what to tell you.
I think I wrote the wrong thing. Yeah, I wrote the wrong thing. I think I wrote the wrong thing.
Okay, well, there's another one that's NMN that you take.
I take NMN. That's the one I take.
What's wrong with NAD?
NAD, if you take it, okay, I take nicotinamide mononucleotide.
Okay.
The problem with taking NAD orally is it just gets destroyed in your stomach, and then it doesn't do anything for you.
I feel like that's going to be a common theme for a lot of this stuff.
Some of them, but not the vitamins, right?
So what this should do? What's this one for? Who told you to take it?
This one was just another ex-boyfriend, Dr. David Sinclair, but I don't know what he's a doctor of. I think he's
poetry.
I think he has a PhD in something, but he's not a medical doctor. And I heard him speak. He didn't say the words Elon Musk is a genius, but he spoke reverently and positively. That was the tone I inferred, and that was enough for me to break up with someone. So
I'm also seeing the picture of him on the document where he has on headphones in front of a curtain with a microphone in front of him in an orientation that can only be read as Joe Rogan guest.
That is correct. Yeah. He's a Joe Rogan guest. So we're broken up now, but I still got interested in NMN. And this is when you get to the next level of supplements where you're not just you're not thinking about your body so much as your actual DNA. You're
normal.
working on the health of DNA. Right. A thing that you can control with a pill that you take in the morning.
That you got from the store.
Exactly. But essentially there's a thing that your cells start to break down. They stop clearing out the junk. They stop regenerating. And this is a molecule that boosts. This is just basically the booster molecule that it starts dying down.
Okay. That sounds like... All this shit sounds so normal when you just say it, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to take on faith that this is all true and it works in a child's understanding of how it might. Where, like, there's a little tank that's, like, the new cell goo, and then, like, my little guy with the shovel was like, it's all empty. We got too old. But then, like, oh, a new shipment came from Mouth Town.
Well, it works on mice. I'll say that.
Okay. I'm basically a mouse. That's, like, the same.
And it's tricky to say, well, a mouse is in a lab, and a mouse, there's a lot of things that are different about a mouse than a human, but there are a lot of things that are the same about mice and human. The way, in particular, the way they pass down genes is very similar. Of course, what we're doing with SUPs here, it's not about passing on genes, but if you wanted to do figure out rapid genetic testing, and you can't wait for a human to give birth and die, and you pass on to the next level. A mouse would be mice studies are a good way to figure that out. I think I talk a little bit faster when I'm in the QAnon. I can hear it. I can hear the change when the QAnon takes over. I can hear it in my voice. Oh no, I don't think I'm going to be able to listen to this episode.
Oh, yes, you will. Erica, please. Please.
I'm going to hear things that I don't want to hear about myself. I'm going to learn things I don't want to know.
These next ones are fucking... These sound like the things that your DNA is made of. You spell Gattaca with these, except they're not them.
Yeah.
They start with P and L. Yeah,
so these are the amino acids. And that's to help your body. So the ones I take, the amino acids I take are proline, lysine, and glycine. And I take those because an actress named Maggie Q, she was in Mission Impossible 3, but now I think she's pretty much a full-time supplements grifter. She says take them, and she says don't eat collagen. A lot of people eat collagen supplements, take them orally, and that breaks down in your body, and then your body has to reconstitute it to try and make more collagen. She says, well, why not just cut out the middle and just take the acids, and then your body will reconstitute that into collagen.
Yeah. You put in a Lego, your body undoes the Lego and then puts it back together. It's like putting up. Yeah. It's like giving someone who likes puzzles like a full puzzle. That's like done. It's like, what am I gonna do with this? Like okay, thanks, and you gotta break it down and repuzzify it. Just give me the pieces.
Yeah, or it's like it's something's gonna be sent to the chopper, so you might as well just feed it the sawdust rather than feed it a whole couch and wait for it to get couched up. Yeah, so I take those couched up. Couched up in this case means crunched or turned into particulates, obliterated.
Yeah. This is a picture of Maggie Q. She seems like she knows what's going on. She's got lustrous hair. Definitely from some supplement, but whatever. That's not funny. I don't have any ghost jokes. Rewind. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll come out with the joke, but no, it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to come up with jokes about these because you run the risk of triggering me.
That's not. No. Okay, there's got only a couple more to go. Next one is.
I think mangosteen.
If Bruce Springsteen were a fruit, mangosteen.
Yeah. So it's just a fruit that's high in vitamin C, and Maggie Q says taking high doses of vitamin C is good. And vitamin C is one of the water-soluble vitamins. You can't overdose on it. You just pee it out. So I consider it all fun and games.
This is like when... Is this just Airborne? Remember Airborne, folks? Remember that? Did you ever believe in that? Did you take Airborne? I took Airborne a few times because I was like a little kid and I didn't know that when I was just like, I bet it works because it's from the store.
I appreciate that the packaging emphasizes soothing one's anxiety.
That is okay. Good point, because that really is a big part of it. I mean, and that's what it did do.
I think it's the only part of it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a big pill of vitamin C that you would put in water, and then you'd drink it, and it was like, it'll make your cold last less time. No, it doesn't. How could it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Although zinc is supposed to... Zicam is a commercial name for one of them. Zinc really is clinically shown to make colds last less long.
Wait, what the fuck? How come? Okay. Well then, how come the fucking cold medicine that you can get, phenylephrine, has been clinically proven to do nothing? And
I don't know.
They don't give me like fucking Dayquil now with extra zinc like a gun.
I don't know the answer.
What the fuck? The final one. These are the ones you take. You have some ones that we're considering. This is gonna be called saw palmetto. Yeah. What's this shit?
Have you watched Killing It yet, by the way?
No, what is this?
It's very good. It's Craig Robinson, and I don't know the name of the Australian actress performer in it, but it's the two of them get into business in the state of Florida catching snakes for money.
Hell yeah. Did I ever tell you this? Sorry. One time I was looking up my grade school chums to see where they are now. And there was one guy who was kind of mean to me. And I looked him up. And I saw that he was in a news article, a local news article, that a local man arrested for marijuana possession during delivery of snake. And he had a snake delivery business that, would you believe, how could you ever think of this? He also delivered marijuana at the same time. Why would there ever be an overlap in the clientele? Anyway, sorry, they're killing it. They're selling snakes in Florida.
Oh, yeah, and but ultimately Craig Robinson's character wants to have a saw palmetto farm. Mm-hmm. And saw palmetto is an herbal remedy that actually does help with prostate issues, swollen prostates. But a Instagram ad from Beverly Hills MD, which are plastic surgeons, said it's good for the gals to take, and it's good for their... the truth, I don't remember exactly what they said it's good for. They just said it's good for gals.
I'm looking at the doc, and it says they told a fable of two sisters close in age.
Yes.
But one was a wizened crone and one was a maiden.
Yeah, and they told a very real story about real sisters who really came into their office.
And they shared one eye with which they saw the future. And the future was, I need to keep taking saw palmetto.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's just tree? Do you have wood, chew on a log? What is dust?
No,
are we talking dust?
All the herbal
Sap?
ones really look the same. They look kind of an olive green in the clear capsule.
It's just little leaves. I'm talking leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. I eat leaves all the time. Kale is basically supplements. Actually, here's my thing.
Yeah.
This is the boy version of what we're talking about. Oh, I get it. So, okay, I don't talk about YouTube on this show because Joe doesn't watch anything. But every once in a while, I'll just find a YouTube channel that will like hook me, and I'll be like, oh, and I'll watch a ton, and then I'll be like, I get the gist, and then I stop. One was, and this is actually, now the more I think about it, the more this is like, oh, this is exactly the boy version. I mean, and it's very much like the boy version, and how this is gaming, where this is a guy who's a nutritionist, I assume possibly a trainer, I don't know, some guy who is in the business. And I assume that the channel he had was not about this type of thing until it became clear that, oh, people like this, which was he would do tier lists of different like food categories. So it would be like the vegetable tier list. Like what, like, and I'm just like, oh my God, I gotta make sure I'm eating top tier vegetables. And like, I was so fucking pleased with myself because, like, what do I eat all the time? Broccoli. Broccoli's in A tier. What do I eat all the time? Kale. Kale is in S tier. It is the only vegetable in S tier. And, like, he gives this big list of all the numbers of, like, all the different milligrams of all the doodads and, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what any of this shit means. I don't know what any of this shit does. But I'm just like, oh my God, 800% vitamin K in one serving? Kale. I was so into it. Oh, and also the only D tier vegetable was eggplant, which my least favorite vegetable. And I'm proven right, folks. Don't eat eggplants. Actually, no. He said that like all vegetables are good. You should eat vegetables all the time. He did a nuts and seeds tier list. That was incredible. God. Oh my God.
This is a new boyfriend already.
Yeah. And then the other one, I'm watching this guy, Technology Connections. You know about this guy? Mm-mm. He is a dude who just talks about like household items and how they work and the design of them. I think his breakthrough video, at least one of them was, the one that got me hooked, was talking about how the soap packs for dishwashers are suboptimal because you're supposed to fill the compartment with soap and then also fill the outer compartment with soap, so that there are two loads of soap for the two distinct loads of water in a single given dishwashing load. But the packet, the packet only has soap for the second cycle. And you know Carl? You know my buddy Carl?
Of course, yeah.
This guy is so Carl coded. It's just like, he's like, I have to like rub my eyes because he looks like Carl visually, acts like Carl, and like, so it's like I'm hanging out with my buddy. If my buddy also knew a bunch of interesting facts, which Carl does, but not about this stuff.
I haven't even told you, at Thanksgiving, there was a child who was so Tom Harrison coded.
Oh my God.
That it was tripping me out. He started floss dancing.
Oh, and hell yeah.
He was snuggling with his mom.
I do that.
And at the table, I said to his mom, you know, your kid, Kirill, is so similar to my friend Tom Harrison. And I started kind of doing a little bit of an impression of you. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's exactly like Kirill. And I was like, yes. No. It's an impression of the one meta entity where they meet.
I need to meet this kid.
It was really cool. He's a really cool kid.
I need to tell this kid a bunch of things not to do. He's going to do them anyway. Hell yeah. Anyway, I think the point was that kale is a S-tier vegetable. Here's another thing. There's this vegan restaurant near me, Kale My Name. I gotta say this because like it's one of these things that like I need to say this to someone, but there's no where to do that. And then I'm like, oh shit, my fucking podcast that has no format. So this place, vegan restaurant, very rare that there's a vegan restaurant that's like, we are vegan, the whole menu, you know, there's no cheese on nothing. No. And so I was excited, and especially because it's like right by my house, like crazy close. Like I could walk there in 10 minutes. Here's the thing about Kale My Name. You would think that a vegan restaurant would like make a good salad, right? I got a Caesar salad, which is like the layup of salads. And there's many things that were wrong with this salad. But the first of which is true of all their salads and all of their wraps, which to me is just like an astounding failure foundationally that renders the entire restaurant pointless, which is, I don't know if you know this, but you or the listeners, but this is a thing that you should do. If you're going to eat kale raw, like in a salad, you must, not optional, you must massage it thoroughly. You must use the physical action of your hands to smush the kale and break the cell walls within it so that two things happen. One, the flavor is released, and two, it becomes fucking edible, period. Because then it's just fucking gray. And also, yeah, you can tell you've massaged it enough because the kale looks green instead of its original gray. I was served a big gray bowl of fucking, like, wood chips. What is this?
A carnivore was in the kitchen. Someone who kale had never passed their lips.
How could this be? Unless it was, like, why would they hire someone who has no idea how to cook veg food? And also, like, this is their flagship ingredient. It's called Kale My Name. You don't know you have to massage kale? It takes 2 seconds. It makes it so much better.
So brutal. I want to throw a brick through their window, and attached to the brick is a note that says, please massage your kale.
If you were at home and you're like, I don't like kale, it's bitter and it's hard to chew, it's because you didn't fucking massage it. Give it a try. You'll love it. It's a great salad green, very hearty, and it's an S tier vegetable. So you're min-maxing your health if you eat that. Anyway, so not only that, so that was, a big ass bowl of that. Terrible. And then it had a little dusting of fake, and I say fake, plant-based Parmesan tubes. You know how, like, the shredded cheese, it's little tubes. This was not one of the good brands of plant-based cheese. These were terrible. Yeah. It had a tiny little tub of Caesar dressing, which was fine, but it was not enough to cover all the leaves, and also the leaves were inedible, so it doesn't matter how good the dressing is. And then there was like 3 sun-dried tomatoes. That was the entire salad. That was an entree for my dinner.
No, Caesar salad croutons. Where are the croutons?
Yes, you get it. You get it. I thought I want to give this place a shot. I'm giving it a fair shot. I'm going to give it, I'm going to set it up for success. The easiest thing to make that a veggie restaurant should really have locked in. So the only good thing there is they have empanadas. Only one type is just the veggie empanadas. They're great. Everything else on the menu sucks ass. They do that thing that I hate that a lot of veggie restaurants do, where they really advertise like it's a great thing that, like, we have Beyond Burgers. And I'm like, you mean the thing from the store? You mean exactly the same thing I can buy for the same price? Like, huh?
Right. Oh, you don't have special access to the premium vegan foods, brother. Yeah. Brutal.
The real thing that killed me about Kale My Name is that it's like 5-star. Everyone loves it. 5-star reviews across the board. Everyone, if you look up like vegan restaurants in Chicago, everyone's like, Kale My Name, top of the list, no doubt. Best food I ever had. And I'm just like, what's wrong with you people?
Maybe it was before Burger Boy was working there.
Maybe. Anyway.
Carnivore was in the kitchen. All right, so I am going to wrap with evidence that I am rational. Deep within the lore and deep within my little hole, a little tendril of logic reaches out and shows that I'm rational. So at the end of the long list that I wrote up for Tom, the list of supplements I'm considering, one of the supplements I was considering was pterostilbene, because one of my new boyfriends, Chris Mirabille, who's a big time grifter, he doesn't even have a doctorate in something. He's just he wasn't even in a movie with Tom Cruise, which I consider a better recommendation than what he actually has, which is an MBA.
Oh my god. Yo, okay, I see you've written down Chris Mirabille MBA. Erica, straight up, I gotta tell you, it worked on me, which is I just saw letters after his name. I'm like, this is probably a doctor. I didn't even notice that it was MBA until you said it. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not from doctor.
Yeah, but he's got a bunch of supplements that he offers, and one of them is pterostilbene. And in the process of writing it up, like, Tom, I'm considering this, and in the process of looking up information about it, oh, it's toxic to marine life. Oh, it makes people's cholesterol go up sometimes as long as you take it at a certain amount, although long-term effects have never been studied. Realized I don't need this. I'm taking it off the list, and I took it off the list.
Hell yeah. Folks, you can't get mad at Erica. We didn't promote any grifters. We don't want you to buy Alex Jones's pills. We never will. Isn't it funny how doesn't he like sell the same pills as like everyone else, but he like brands them with Nazi stuff?
Oh, I don't know. Watch him be selling AG1 like every podcast I've seen that's even remotely health and wellness focused.
Is that bad? Should we do that? Should we reach out to the AG1 people? What does it do?
We should put clips of this on TikTok with little stick figure animations and brand Anime Sickos as a health and wellness hilarity podcast. Big in the space. Mm-hmm. And then the next one can be sponsored by AG1.
Okay. I mean, we are a health and wellness podcast in that there have been people who have mentioned that their mental health has been improved by listening to the show, which I think is not surprising because we are one of the few places that publicly is brave enough to say, you should be whining more. Moan! Shit sucks!
Wait, here's a question. How's your back?
My back is doing better. It's not great. I'm going to PT tomorrow for the first time in a while because the holiday is delaying stuff. But I just tried to bend forward today earlier after I did my exercises, which generally just ain't no bending occurring. I just get to sort of like 90 degrees and that's that. I got pretty close to touching my toes. Not like... Like ankle, which is crazy. That's not nothing. I'm not like pain free, but like I'm doing okay.
All right, this sounds like health and wellness to me.
Yeah. Actually, I want to do an AG1 ad right now. This is my promo. This is my no, it's not my promo. It's my reel. Listen to this. Hey folks, this is your friend Tom from the Anime Sickos doing one of the classic ads you love so much. You know about letters? I do. You know about numbers? There's a bunch of them. That's why I'm giving you AG1. It's probably something, probably not nothing. Could it be a meal kit? I don't know. Podcast stuff tends to be. I hear there's one called Factor now. What happened to Home Chef? I don't know. Not even that. HelloFresh was the one. What happened to HelloFresh? What happened to Blue Apron? Remember that?
That's the one I really remember.
That's like a deep cut. That's like 2016 stuff. That was like on the Adventure Zone back when it was new, when people hadn't turned on it yet. Anyway, that was my ad.
In San Francisco, my friend's roommate, this was in 2011, my friend's roommate was going to be part of a startup that was a meal kit service. Mm-hmm. And the name that they chose for their meal kit service was Yup Eat. Like yuppie.
What?
Yuppie. Slang that you might remember from the 1980s.
The 1980s.
Yeah, Yup Eat. It didn't go very well, but also hearing this young person excited, be like, we're gonna call it Yup Eat. It was a little sign for me that San Francisco is a bad place.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all the time we have for Anime Sickos. I think that's a good place to end. Hell yeah. Erica, I know you are on the show every week, but I'm having that event again where I'm remembering, it's like Gesicht from Pluto. Someone tampered with my memories, but I can still access them. I'm remembering Joe. Oh my God. I forget where I was going with this bit. I think the main point was I was going to try to keep the fiction up that you've been on every episode, but also thank you for being a guest host. So let's pretend that I did that seamlessly. So
yeah, the dialectic is real. Opposing thoughts can both be true.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for being a guest host. This was so much fun.
Oh, thanks, Tom. This was so much fun.
It's been forever since I've recorded an episode because of events that have occurred. And this was like so frictionless, just totally a slam dunk. Loved it. And yeah, hell yeah. Erica rules, folks. If you haven't listened to Erica's previous episode, go back and listen to that. I also rule. Go back to listen to I'm on all of them, except for the one where it's Riley instead of me. But that one's also good. I hated how good it was because I'm just like, replaced.
If you listen to the previous episode where I was on, you can hear my and Tom's origin story, which I think is worth hearing.
It's a great origin story. Because that was like, talk about I used to know people. That was like the first time I was on like a show, that was like real. And I was like, look at all these cool people. Wow, they're so talented. Maybe one day they could be my friends. And then like, one of them is my friends. Wow, like it works. And like, folks, it worked. She's my friends. Anyway, but I've been Tom, an anime sicko.
I'm Erica, an anime sicko.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19.
Erica
was also a sicko. You can follow
her
on Twitter at
Not Applicable.
You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.